as I walk the road from Kilishandra. Weary I sit down, for it's 12 long miles around the lake to get to Cavan Town. The water and the road I go once seemed beyond compare. Now I curse the time it takes to reach my Cavan girl so fair. The autumn shades are on the leaves, the trees will soon be bare. Each red gold leaf around me seems the color of her hair. My gaze retreats to find my feet, and once again I sigh for the broken pools of sky remind the colors of her eye. At the Cavan Cross each Sunday morning, there she can be found, and she seems to have the eye of every boy in Cavan Town. If my luck will hold, I'll have the golden summer of her smile, and to break the hearts of Cavan men, she'll talk to me a while. So next Sunday evening finds me homeward, Kilishandra bound, to work the week till I return to court in Cavan Town. When asked if she would be my bride, at least she'd not said no. So next Sunday morning I'll rouse myself, and back to her I'll go. All right. Hello, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Thanks for joining me. That was the warm-up mic check song. I'm assuming, because nobody's shouting in the comments, that the audio setup seems to be working properly. So yeah, welcome. I wish that we could all meet in person, but as that's not a thing that's going on right now, this is the next best thing to all gather together for some music. So I'm really excited to have everybody here. So that was Cavan Girl, and like I said, that was sort of the mic check song for people who showed up right when it started. So I am going to start us off with... a song called The Black Velvet Band. Get all the technology working for us. All right. In a neat little town they call Belfast, apprenticed a trade I was bound. Oh, many an hour sweet happiness have I spent in that neat little town. A sad misfortune came over me, which caused me to stray from the land, far away from my my friends and relations, betrayed by the black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair, it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. I took a stroll down Broadway, oh, meaning not long for to stay, when who should I meet but this pretty fair maid, come a-traipsing along the highway. She was both fair and handsome, her neck it was just like a swan's, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair, it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. I took a stroll with this pretty fair maid, and a gentleman passing us by. Well, I knew she meant the undoing of him by the look in her roguish black eye. A gold watch she took from his pocket and slipped it right into my hand. And the very first thing that I said was bad cess to the black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair, it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. 7 long years penal servitude, to be spent down in Van Diemen's Land, far away from my friends and relations, betrayed by the black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair, it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, I thought her the queen of the land. And her hair, it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. All right. Hey, Emily and Sky, good to see you guys. Thanks for joining me. All right. Sláinte, everyone. There's a cheers in Irish. So this song is a goofy, nonsense, fun song about a boat. It's called the Irish Rover, and quite a magnificent vessel it was. On the 4th of July, 1806, we set sail from the sweet Cobb of Cork. We were sailing away with a cargo of bricks for the Grand City Hall in New York. 'Twas a wonderful craft, she was rigged fore and aft, and oh, how the wild wind drove her. She stood several blasts, she had 27 masts, and they called her the Irish Rover. We had 1 million bags of the best Sligo rags. We had 2 million barrels of stone. We had 3 million sides of old blind horses' hides. We had 4 million barrels of bones. We had 5 million hogs and 6 million dogs, 7 million barrels of porter. We had 8 million bales of old nanny goats' tails in the hold of the Irish Rover. There was old Mickey Coot, who played hard on his flute while the ladies lined up for a set. He was tootin' with skill for each sparkling quadrille, though the dancers were fluthered in bet. With his smart, witty talk, he was cock of the walk, and he rolled the dames under and over. They all knew at a glance, when he took up his stance, that he sailed in the Irish Rover. There was Barney McGee from the banks of the Lee. There was Hogan from County Tyrone. There was Johnny McGurr, who was scared stiff o' work, and a man from Wheatsmith called Malone. There was Slugger O'Toole, who was drunk as a rule, and Fighting Bill Tracy from Dover. And your man Mick McGann from the banks of the Bann was the skipper of the Irish Rover. For a sailor it's always a bother in life. It's so lonesome by night and by day that he longs for the shore and a charming young girl who will melt all his troubles away. Oh, the noise and the routs will improve tin and stout. For him soon the torment's over. Or the love of a maid, he is never afraid. An old salt from the Irish Rover. We had sailed 7 years when the measles broke out, and the ship lost its way in the fog. And that whale of a crew was reduced down to 2, just myself and the captain's old dog. Well, the ship struck a rock, oh Lord, what a shock. The bulkhead, it turned right over, turned 9 times around, and the poor old dog was drowned. I'm the last of the Irish Rover. All right, that's a fun one. Hey, Amanda, great to see you. Let's see, what do we have next? Yes. So, a lot of my favorite Irish songs are the slow, sad ones. So I'll try to not have too many of those in here, but we're gonna have a few. And this is one of them. The song's called Dublin in the Rare Old Times. And I like to say that it makes me nostalgic for someplace, sometime that I've never been or experienced. And it's really awesome that music can make you have those experiences, you know? You can have that emotion that someone is passing to you, somewhere that you've never been, something that you've never experienced, and just feel that powerfully. Raised on songs and stories, heroes of renown, the passing tales and glories that once was Dublin town. The hallowed halls and houses, the haunting children's rhymes that once was part of Dublin in the rare old times. Ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the light declines, I remember Dublin city in the rare old times. My name it is Sean Dempsey, Dublin as could be, born late and hard in Plimico, in a house that ceased to be. By trade I was a cooper, lost out to redundancy, like my house that fell to progress my traits a memory. I courted Peggy Dingham, as pretty as you please, a gentle child of Mary from the rebel liberties. I lost her to a student chap, and that it took its toll when he brought her off to Birmingham. She took away my soul. Ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the light declines, I remember Dublin city in the rare old times. The years have made me bitter, the gargles dim me brain, 'cause Dublin keeps on changing and nothing stays the same. The pillar and the Met have gone, the Royal long since pulled down, as the great unyielding concrete makes a city of my town. Ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the light declines, I remember Dublin city in the rare old times. Fare thee well, sweet Anna Liffey, I can no longer stay and watch the new glass cages that spring up along the quay. My mind's too full of memories, too old to hear new chimes. I'm part of what was Dublin in the rare old times. Ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the light declines, I remember Dublin city in the rare old times. Ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the light declines, I remember Dublin city in the rare old times. All right, so thank you for indulging me on that one. Maybe not the most exciting of songs, but I think that one's my absolute favorite. Though you'll hear me, I'm going to call all of these ones my favorites. Hey, Dad, good to see you too. All right, this one goes out to Mark Renberg, who was doing a performance earlier. This song goes along with the name of the pub at his house, or at least that's what the sign says. The song is called Fiddler's Green. As I walk by the dockside one evening so fair, to view the salt waters and take the sea air, I heard an old fisherman singing a song. Oh, take me away, boys, me time is not long. Wrap me up in my oilskins and jumpers, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I am taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Now Fiddler's Green is a place I've heard tell, where the fishermen go if they don't go to hell. where the skies are all clear and the dolphins do play, and the cold coast of Greenland is far, far away. Wrap me up in me oilskins and jumpers, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I am taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green, where the skies are all clear and there's never a gale, and the fish jump on board with one swish of their tail. Where you lie at your leisure, there's no work to do, and the skipper's below making tea for the crew. Wrap me up in me oilskins and jumpers, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see them someday on Fiddler's Green. When you get back on docks and the long trip is through, there's pubs and there's clubs and there's lassies there too, where the girls are all pretty and the beer it is free, and there's bottles of rum growing from every tree. Wrap me up in me oilskins and jumpers, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Now I don't want a harp nor a halo, not me. Just give me a breeze on a good rolling sea. I'll play me old squeeze box as we sail along, with the wind in the rigging to sing me a song. Wrap me up in my oilskins and jumpers, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday on Fiddler's Green. Come all you know hopers, you jokers and rogues, we're on the road to nowhere, let's find out where it goes. It might be a ladder to the stars, who knows? Come all you know hopers, you jokers and rogues, leave all your furrows in the fields where they lie, your factories and offices, kiss them all goodbye. Have a little faith in the dream maker in the sky. There's glory in believe in him, and it's all in the beholder's eye. Come all you know hopers, you jokers and rogues, we're on the road to nowhere, let's find out where it goes. It might be a ladder to the stars, who knows? Come all you know hopers, you jokers and rogues. Turn off your engines and slow down your wheels. Suddenly your master plan loses its appeal. Everybody knows that this reality is not real. So raise a glass to all things past and celebrate how good it feels. Come all you know hopers, you jokers and rogues, we're on the road to nowhere, let's find out where it goes. It might be a ladder to the stars, who knows? Come all you know hopers, you jokers and rogues, awash on the sea of our own vanity, we should rejoice in our individuality. Through its gale force, let's steer a course for sanity. Come all you know hopers, yeah jokers and rogues. We're on the road to nowhere, let's find out where it goes. It might be a ladder to the stars, who knows? Come all you know hopers, yeah jokers and rogues. Come all you know hopers, yeah jokers and rogues. We're on the road to nowhere, let's find out where it goes. It might be a ladder to the stars, who knows? Come all you know hopers, yeah jokers and rogues. All right. Hey, Larry. Good to see you. Did you see the smile on my face get a little wider when I saw that comment come in? So that song, No Hopers, Jokers, and Rogues, is by Port Isaac's Fisherman Friends. And I heard that song, and I went to find it, and I was looking around on Apple Music, and I couldn't find it. If it doesn't exist on Apple Music, it just doesn't exist, right? Well, so there's lots of good music all over the place, turns out. All right, we're going to do something a little bit different. I play the tin whistle and the low whistle, and I can't do that and sing at the same time, nor can I do much else at the same time. So what I have done is I've pre-recorded a guitar track. So I am going to play for you a song called The South Wind, which is a whistle song. I hope you enjoy it. All right, well, that was fun. Fun fact for my WPI friends, the time that I started playing tin whistle was I was doing linear algebra, and I was just losing my dang mind. I had reduced so many matrices, I was so sleep deprived, I actually like blacked out, fell asleep with my eyes open, woke up and realized that I had reduced another like row of the matrix while I was asleep. It was bad. I was like, I need to do anything, something, anything at all, which is not math. So I was looking around and I found out, turns out a tin whistle or a penny whistle, you can get a good quality one for like $10. And it's like, perfect, broke college student, I'll learn how to play the tin whistle. And it was a lot of fun. If you're thinking about doing something like that, you could give that a shot. Find some instrument, dig something out of your closet that you used to play 10 years ago. Music is fun. All right. So this song is a song called Carrickfergus. And it is maybe in the running for the best Irish ballad. I wish I was in Carrickfergus, only for nights in Ballygran. I would swim over the deepest oceans, only for nights in Ballygran. But the sea is wide and I can't swim over, and neither have I the wings to fly. I wish I could find me a handsome boatman to ferry me over to my love and I. But in Kilkenny it is reported on marble stones there, black as ink, with gold and silver, I would support her. But I'll sing no more now till I get a drink, for I'm drunk today and I'm seldom sober, a handsome rover from town to town. But I'm sick now, my days are numbered. Come all you young men and lay me down. I learned that song from a gentleman named Jim down in Alabama when I spent some time down there for an internship. And it was one of his favorites, and it's definitely one of mine now. But let us do something a little bit more upbeat and fun. This is a song called The Star of the County Down. Well, a lot more upbeat. Ooh, get my EQ right. Bamberstown in the county down one evening last July. Down a boring green came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so neat in her tulle bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf, I'd be shaking myself to make sure I was standing there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met at the county down. She on her bed, I'd be shaking me head at a gaze with a feeling queer, And I said, says I, to a passerby, who's the maid with the nut brown hair. He smiled at me with pride, says she, sees the gem of old Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McGann, from the banks of the Bann and the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met at the county down. She had a soft brown eye and a look so sly, and a smile like a rose in June. And you held each note in her auburn throat as she lilted to lamenting tunes. At the pattern dance you'd be in a trance as she skipped through a jig or a reel. With her eyes she roll and she lift your soul, and your heart she would likely steal. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met at the county down. At the harvest fair she'll be surely there, and I'll dress in me Sunday clothes, with my hat cocked right and my shoes drawn bright for a smile from the nut brown rose. No horse I'll yoke, no pipe I'll smoke, till I plough the colour brown. And a smiling bride by my own fireside is the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met at the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met at the county down. All right. That's a nice fun one. Hey Dylan, it is good to see you out there. So I'd be remiss to have this without mentioning my favorite Irish group called the High Kings, and they are absolutely tremendous vocalists in addition to instrumentalists, and then they stand out a little bit of other Irish artists. They're not the most original group. Like there are groups that like are the originals, or people like Tommy Makem who are writing all of these songs, but I really enjoy the High Kings versions of lots of these songs, and this is one of them. This is The Leaving of Liverpool. Fare thee well to Prince's Landing Stage, River Mersey, fare thee well. I am bound for California, that's a place I know right well. So fare thee well, my own true love, and when I return united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. I have signed on a Yankee clipper ship, Davy Crockett is her name, and the Burgess is the captain of her, and they say that she's a floating shame. I have sailed with Burgess once before, he's a man I know right well. If a man is a sailor, he can get along, and if not, then he'll surely be in hell. So fare thee well, my own true love, and when I return united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. Now the sun is in the harbor, love, and I wish I could remain, for I know it'll be a long, long time before I see you again. So fare thee well, my own true love, and when I return united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. So fare thee well, my own true love, and when I return united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. All right. Hi Naomi, thank you. Good to see you here. Yeah, and to anybody just joining, or anybody who hasn't heard it yet, happy St. Patrick's Day. thank you for joining me. This next song is, say, one of the most popular Irish songs. It's called The Fields of Athenry. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young girl calling. Michael, they have taken you away, for you stole Trevelyan's corn, that the young might see the morn. Now the prison ship lies waiting in the bay. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. Now it's lonely round the fields of Athenry. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling. Nothing matters, Mary, when you're free. Against the famine and the crown, I rebelled, they cut me down. Now you must raise our child with dignity. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free bird fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. Now it's lonely round the fields of Athenry. By a lonely harbor wall, she watched the last star falling, as the prison ship sailed out against the sky. And she'll wait and hope and pray for her love at Botany Bay. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. Now it's lonely round the fields of Athenry. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free bird fly. Love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. Now it's lonely round the fields of Athenry. So I got to actually sing that one live. Well, you know, in the crowd. I went to a High Kings concert, and that song they decided to do as a crowd sing-along. This was up in Albany, and that was a really fun event. All right. Speaking of the High Kings, here's one of their songs. It's about a more nautical theme here. And this is about someone who tries to get on a sailing ship and ends up biting off a little bit more than they can chew. Well, going on a stroll one fine summer's eve, my thirst I decided to quench. I rambled around till I came to the docks of a pub called the Iron Wench. When I stepped through the door, I saw a man on a stool, a man I'd seen never before. He had fistfuls of cash that he said he had earned while he sailed round Ireland's shore. I ordered a sup and a sup for yon man, and he told me strong tales with great pride. And I walked out the door with the courage of drink to sail on the next morning tide. Well, the summer breeze took us far from the land as we sailed in the tropical heat. And the captain roared, "Let the skull and crossbones fly, and we'll hunt down the admiral's fleet." I thought I'd search the horizon and sail through the night till I'm sailing round Ireland's shore. Oh, sailing round Ireland, sailing round Ireland, sailing round Ireland's shore. Well, I thought if I jumped I would drown in this place, so I cheered with a grimacing face. I sharpened my blade like a man filled with hate and a scowling old sea dog's grace. Well, I cursed on your drink, though it does make me think of poetry and music galore. But it evens the score with a sore-headed roar, far from sailing round Ireland's shore. Oh, sailing round Ireland, sailing round Ireland, sailing round Ireland's shore. From my evil company and booty in tons, I snuck off while all were asleep. Oh, and I stole a skiff with the stealth of a ghost. I filled it 4 chests deep. I sailed along the coast till I hid in a cave, by firelight my treasures to hoard. When I dreamed of a quest to return finely dressed and to sail round Ireland's shores. Well, I heard a voice, and it spooked me for sure, as it echoed all round the cave. It said, "I'm not dead, and you'll pay with your head, you scoundrel and dirty knave." It said, "Show me daylight, give me a fair fight, let me die by the sword in a duel. For I wear on my chest not just the Admiral's crest, but the High King of Ireland's crown jewels." I thought I'd search the horizon and sail through the night till it's sailing round Ireland's shore. Oh, sailing round Ireland, sailing round Ireland, sailing round Ireland's shore. I thought I'd search the horizon and sail through the night till I'm sailing round Ireland's shore. Oh, sailing round Ireland, sailing round Ireland, sailing round Ireland's shore. All right. That one's a good bit of fun. Hey, Monica. Good to see you. Yeah, actually, Whiskey in the Jar is on my set list here. I'm gonna get to it in a few songs. It's one of my favorites. It's probably my second favorite Irish song ever, so I like having it at the end as a nice, fun closer. Ugh, let me get the pick that I dropped. Ugh. Guess that song was slightly too intense for the pick. Oh, hey, Mr. McHale, good to see you. And Lindsay. Yeah, you guys should, if you haven't seen it, check out the version of The Hanging Tree on my YouTube channel that Lindsay and I put together with lots of friends. Lindsay did all the video, and I did audio mixing, and we had a whole bunch of people contribute voices. That was pretty awesome. On Raglan Road, on an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day rue. I saw the danger and I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a falling leaf at the dawning of the day. On Grafton Street, in November sweet, we tripped lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen the worth of passion's pledge. The Queen of Hearts still making tarts, and I not making hay. Oh, I love too much, and by such is happiness thrown away. I gave her gifts of the mind, I gave her the secret sign that's known to artists who have known true gods of sound and stone, and words in tint without a stint. I gave her poems to say, with her own name there, and her long dark hair like clouds over fields of May. On a quiet street where old ghosts meet, I see her walking now, away from me so hurriedly, my reason must allow that I have loved not as I should, a creature made of clay. When the angel woos the clay, he loses his wings at the dawn of day. When the angel woos the clay, he loses his wings at the dawn of day. All right, that one's called Raglan Road. Version I know is by Luke Kelly. Hey Mark, good to see you. I did a shout out to you earlier when I played Fiddler's Green. So if you missed that one, you'll have to catch it later. But I think that you will enjoy this next one as well. This is Tommy Makem, For Green Fields. This is one of those archetypical Irish songs about fighting the British forever and ever and ever. What did I have? Said the fine old woman. Oh, excuse me a second. Let's sing that a little higher. What did I have? Said the fine old woman. The technology, this song. I'll start it eventually. Hey Matt, great to see you. All right. Song is For Green Fields. What did I have? Said the fine old woman. What did I have? This proud old woman did say I had 4 green one was a jewel, but strangers came and tried to take them from me. But my fine, strong sons, they fought to save my jewels. They fought and died, and that was my grief, said she. Long time ago, said the fine old woman. Long time ago, this proud old woman did say there was war and death, plundering and pillage, my children starved by mountain, valley, and sea, and their wailing cries, they reached the very heavens, and my poor green fields ran red with their blood, said she. What have I now, said the fine old woman. What have I now? This proud old woman did say, I have 4 green fields. One of them's in bondage, in strangers' hands. They tried to take it from me, but my sons have sons, as brave as were their fathers. My 4 green fields will bloom once again, said she. And my 4 green fields will bloom once again, said she. All right. Thanks, everyone. Hey, Lori and Austin, great to see both of you. Glad you guys could make it. Hey, Davis, how you been, man? Great to see you. All right. This song, speaking of Mark Scribner, this song, I actually reached out to him and was like, hey, how do you do this song? I can't quite seem to get it right. And he was able to give me some pointers. So basically, if I flub this, it's his fault, right? No, but seriously, thanks, Mark. This song is The Wild Rover, and it is a great fun one to play in a bar or whatnot. I've been a wild rover for many's the year, and I spent all my money on whiskey and beer. But now I'm returning with gold in great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I went into an alehouse I used to frequent, and I told the landlady my money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Such a custom as yours I could have any day. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. And out of my pocket I took sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said, I have whiskies and wines of the best, and the words that I said, they were only in jest. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. home to my parents, confess what I've done, and ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And when they've caressed me as oft times before, then I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. All right, lots of fun with that one. Yeah. Huh. So Davis, you probably haven't heard me play guitar in about a year and a half, just about when I had started learning guitar, so hopefully I've improved a little bit since then. All right. Well, I've got 2 songs left on my set list here, but you know what? I am feeling adventurous and feel like people are having a good time. So I am just going to toss another one in here just for funsies. This song is called Boulevard, and it gives me chills sometimes. Just the lyrics of it. Let's get a nice drink of water. And some Guinness. At Boulevard, as the sun was setting o'er the bright May meadows of Shalamere, a rebel hand set the heather blazing and brought the neighbors from far and near. Then Father Murphy from old Kilcormick spurred up the rock with a warning cry. Arm, arm, he cried, for I've come to lead you, for Ireland's freedom will fight or die. He led us on against the coming soldiers, and the cowardly yeomen we put to flight. 'Twas at the Harrow the boys of Wexford showed Bookie's regiment how men could fight. Look out for hirelings, King George of England, search every kingdom where breathes a slave. For Father Murphy from the county Wexford sweeps o'er the land like a mighty wave. Vinegar Hill or the Pleasant Slaney, our heroes bravely stood back to back, and the Yoes at Tudlow took Father Murphy and burned his body upon the rack. God grant you glory, brave Father Murphy, and open heaven to all your men. For the cause that called you may call tomorrow in another fight for the green again. All right. That's Boulevard. And here, as Monica asked for a few songs ago, is Whiskey in the Jar. I was going over the Cork and Kerry mountains, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced me pistol and then produced me rapier, saying stand and deliver for you are a bold deceiver, mushering dum-a-doo dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I counted out his money and it made a pretty penny. I put it in my pocket and I took it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore that she never would deceive me, but the devil take these women, for they never can be easy, mushering dum-a-doo dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went into my chamber, all for to take a slumber. I dreamt of gold and jewels, and for sure it was no wonder. But Jenny drew me charges, and she filled them up with water. Sent for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter, mushering dum-a-doo dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. 'Twas early in the morning, just before I rose to travel. Up came a band of footmen, and likewise Captain Farrell. I first produced me pistol, for she'd stole away me rapier, but I couldn't shoot the water, so a prisoner I was taken, mushering dum-a-doo dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now some take delight in the carriages a-rolling, and others take delight in the hurling and the bowling, but I take delight in the juice of the barley, and courting pretty fair maids in the morning bright and early, mushering dum-a-doo dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. If anyone can aid me, 'tis my brother in the army. If I can find his station in Cork or in Killarney, and if he'll go with me, we'll go roving in Kilkenny, and I'm sure he'll treat me better than my own sporting Jenny, mushering dum-a-doo dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar, mushering dum-a-doo dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar, mushering dum-a-doo dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. All right. Hey, Joe. Good to see you, man. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. And I've got one more song for you. And it is, of course, as Lindsay guessed, The Parting Glass. There we go. Of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm I've ever done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. And so fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whate'er befalls. and gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. Of all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it fell into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whate'er befalls, and gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. But since it fell unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and I'll softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whate'er befalls, and gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whate'er befalls, and gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. Good night and joy be to you all. All right. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Good night and joy be to you all. Sláinte.